All right, all right, all right. Hey, girl.
Hi, gorgeous.
Welcome, welcome. Look at you.
Look at you. Yes, queen. Are you in your office right now?
Yes,
It's
honey.
Interesting, honey.
I love you. Well, I was just telling everyone, first of all, I love your hair.
Thank
I wish
you.
I wish everyone that is listening to this podcast can see your hair right now. Like, can we get pictures and post them on like the podcast profile? Like,
Sure. I did
okay,
something.
okay. I had to, huh?
I did something different for you guys tonight, especially for you.
Well, I feel special. Oh, honey
And
child. Listen. Oh, okay. Liquid
front.
sunrise. Hey, hey, girl. Hey,
Hello.
Chris.
What up, ATL?
so, guys, welcome back to the Love Solutions podcast. This is your girl Sayani.
What's goody, everybody? This is your girl, Daria Marie. How are you this evening?
Yes. And the topic is, does body count? Mm.
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 Woo!
Oh no. It's a great topic because I remember sending an email earlier this week about that, and it's mainly women that are being targeted by this conversation. Thanks, Derek. Um, that's being targeted by this topic, and is a question, which is, does body count? And women are being held accountable because of the fact that basically what's being said is, if you have a lot of mileage, you're most likely not gonna stay, and you're most likely not gonna have a successful relationship or a successful marriage. um you're likely to be depressed. There were all of these different, yeah, exactly, there was all of these different opinions, and it really bothered me because of the fact that this is why I tell women, period, whatever you do, keep it to yourself. You don't need to post everything that you do, with who you with, what you doing, you at this guy's house, you at the other guy's house. Keep it to yourself. You don't need to put it out there into the world, because of the fact that we have this stigma, I'd like to say, the stigma that women, while they're single, cannot enjoy themselves safely.
I want to say, because Devon said I don't want to know. I don't know about you guys, but I don't ask. Can't remember the last time I've ever asked somebody that question, because I honestly feel like it's not going to change the fact that you're obviously interested in pursuing that person sexually. So what does it have to do? What does their past and who they were with before you have to do with what you want to do with them now? Now, unless they're walking around carrying something, I mean, that's a whole other story.
Right.
But in terms of numbers, I feel like I agree with him. Like, I'd rather just not even know, because if it's some astronomical number that sounds type crazy, then I feel like that's gonna like.
Oh, right, right, right. I agree with you. I agree with you there. But, I had asked a man this question earlier this week, and I asked him, like, hey, so I told him my opinion on it, and he said, because what I told him was, whether it's a man or a woman, but right now we're specifically talking about men that ask women these questions, which
Okay.
is because it's important to them. From what I've seen online, there are men that would like to know, because they want to know what they're dealing with. They want to know, okay, if you're from around the way, I need to know, something. So, which to me is like, whatever.
I have a
But,
question. Do you know your number?
huh?
Do you know like the amount of men that you've slept with? Like the number?
I do. I definitely do.
Oh,
But the thing is, but
I
the thing is, it shouldn't, that shouldn't, let me go back to what I was saying, then I'm gonna get back into that. I asked him and I said it to him directly. I'm like, why, if you don't really want to know the answer to this question, why ask? If you are not going to be able to handle and that's Superfly 754 just said it. Your past matters. That's what the guy said to me. He
right.
said your past matters, but also I don't think you should hold a man accountable for asking a question, because perhaps he wants to know what type of elements you may have that I'm willing to work with and I'm not willing to work with. So when he said that, I'm like, okay, but you should also be able to be mature enough to have that conversation.
Trey Martin said it's not about being able to handle it. It's about needing to know if we can see if you're filth or not. Okay, so I don't date anyone under 500. Ideally, someone that can count that high. So everybody has their own, limitations or
Right.
number that feel would categorize them as filth, as the word that you just used. But we're talking about, how men ask women this because it's so important for them. But then what about the amount of women that they have slept with themselves? Like, is that a factor when we're talking about whether or not we want to be intimate with one another? That's first of all. Second of all is I think, like we always say, Yanni, is that it's always just about a conversation. So if you're a man that really truly feels passionate about being with a woman that's not as experienced or hasn't been with that many partners, then that's something that you have to talk about in the beginning. Um, we got a response on your Instagram today that the guy said, I don't care how many bodies the bitch got, I want a girl that's experienced. I mean, some people have that mentality as well. I mean, in my personal opinion, it doesn't matter to me either way. Like, the past is the past, as long as,
Right.
like I said, carrying anything that you're going to give to me. But I would honestly prefer someone that is experienced and knows what they're doing.
Right. Exactly. Can you repeat that one more time?
I personally would prefer a man that is experienced and knows what he's doing in the bedroom. And the women that he's been with before me, it doesn't really make me think twice about getting with him or not, because he ain't gonna get with nobody else after me. So I'm joking.
You okay? Oh,
I'm joking. But seriously,
heard
like
you.
I've never asked a man that question. Like, how many bodies do you have? Like, and men really don't ask me that either.
Yeah, same. I only had one person ask me that question in my entire life. One person. So, hold on to that statement till later. So, okay. So sweet XOXOXO said, all I'm concerned about is, does anyone think they're in a relationship with them at that point? Did you understand that question?
Say it again.
Does anyone think that they are in a relationship with this? I'm guessing she's trying to ask, like, are you in a relationship with this guy at this point, where this guy is actually asking a woman how many men she has slept with? So
So
I guess that's what she's asking.
So my sister, who's married, told me that her and her husband, like over the course of time that they've been together, have like told all of their stories. Like where if they encounter somebody together, or if someone comes up in a conversation, that they'll be honest with each other about like if they've been intimate with them or not. I don't think that it's been like a number or a definitive like I've been with 88 women or I've been with this many men. Like, it's not where it's about a number, but I do think it's important to talk about your past experiences and to be able to be honest about maybe people that you've been with in your past that may be around in your present, or that you may have your significant other around in your relationship. I think certain things are important to discuss, but I think that defining somebody by a number that's in their past is a little bit astronomical to me. And somebody else said, Daria, do you not want to teach them what you like? And honestly, that's huge, because that's something that I think is so important. Or he said, you don't want to teach him what you like. Yeah. So if you have someone that's experienced, I think that it's less likely that you're going to have to coach them in the bedroom because they're going to know more about the female anatomy and about how to make a woman, reach the highest of the highs. Okay. So
Right.
it's a little less of coaching and teaching and more just enjoyment when you have a man that kind of knows what he's doing. But vice versa, like, would you want to sit there and have to teach a woman how to please you who doesn't know what she's doing as well in the bedroom? Like, it goes both ways.
Right, right. So someone said, so Trey Martin says it's pair bonding. Divorce rate for women goes up if they've had over 5 partners. I would have to disagree there. Because of the fact that we're now focusing on a number and focusing it's everything is passing judgment at this point. Like
Right.
like, oh, we're going to pass judgment because she's slept with 5 guys before getting to me. And the thing is, something I spoke to this guy about, specifically, that I had asked him the same question. What I mentioned, and you saw my email because you open all my emails, and I love you so much for that.
I
Um,
do.
on my Love Solutions Daily email, I mentioned that as we're growing up, we go through things and things change within us. When we are early 20s, mid 20s, we're starting to realize that life is not exactly what we thought. We start to realize what we like, what we don't like, what we can tolerate, what we can't tolerate, triggers, traumas we have to deal with. There are experiences that we go through, within intimacy, that we start learning about ourselves. And it's very hard to just point the finger and say you don't have no value because you've slept with this many men. The thing is, and something else that I read was, if you became intimate at 14 and up, you're most likely never going to get married. You're most likely are going to end up divorced or depressed. I have to tell you, I disagree.
Um, so Trey Martin 66 said if nobody is asking your body count, then they're not considering you seriously yet. And I also have to disagree with that. I have men that just straight up just don't want to know. Like, they don't want to know where you've been. They don't want to know specifics or details. They don't need a number. And what you just said, Yanni, just really just pinpoints exactly how I feel, because people can evolve and people can grow. People can go through phases in their
Yeah.
lives, not be
You're not
making
the same. I'm sorry, D. You're not
no.
the same person that you were in your 20s today. You're not. So if you're judging me based on my past, that means this is what I mean to you in the present. This is what you're basing, sorry about that. This is what you're basing your opinion on. You're already judging me. So continue, please.
So I just think that sometimes people may be a little bit more free with their sexual choices. Some people may go through a time in their life where they may not be looking for something serious and may just be looking for intimacy, pleasure, might enjoy having multiple partners with no commitment. That could be a point in someone's life that they go through, and they shouldn't be judged maybe at a later date in their life if they are changing from their ways or they're evolving from past mindsets or habits and want to just commit to one person and only be sexual with one person. I think that it's possible for people to evolve and for people to come out of old decisions and habits. Like, I did something once called No Sex September, where I
Right.
just decided zero sex, not at all, for a month. Some people may think like, oh, that's light. Like, people don't have sex all the time. But that was a decision for me that I wanted to make, that I just did not want to have any intimacy whatsoever. But it doesn't change the fact that, even speaking personally, I've evolved from when I was single when I was 25 to when I'm single now at 32. I was way more free with my sexuality back then than I am now.
Right.
I'm a lot more selective. I'm not looking for no strings attached sexual encounter with anybody at this point in my life. But back then, I really didn't give a shit. And I'll say it on this live. I really did not care.
Right.
So it doesn't make me not wifey material, or doesn't make a man not want to take me seriously because I was experienced at one point in my life and in my past.
Right, exactly. And someone just said something. So, Sweet XOXO, she said, we're women, not girls. So, I agree with you there, but also she mentioned being discreet in regards to, sharing who she's been with. Like, when you're single as a woman, I have to say this and express this. If you are taking care of yourself, and you're a single woman, you're taking care of yourself, you're practicing healthy sex because you're making, safe sex. Um, it's okay to have fun. Like it's okay to have your fun. But my thing is, for men is very different because they could put it out there that they've slept with all these hoes and girls and women and you name it, and this one did this to me and this one did that to me. A woman cannot share those things. Now there are women who don't care, and hey, big ups to them. That is perfectly fine. They shouldn't feel ashamed, or they shouldn't feel ashamed to be able to express their sexuality as a single woman. All I'm saying is there's a way to do it, and not everybody has to know your business. And that's the problem here. I feel like everything now is so out in the open and so highly sexualized that the way women are being looked at is, well, some majority of women are being looked at is as if we are not human. We are. We have needs as well. So I've experienced the same, well, us women have experienced the same way men have experienced in regards to exploring what they like and don't like. So this level of judgment towards women is like, okay, I understand, I get it, but it doesn't mean that I am not worthy of love. It does not mean that I'm not worthy of being a wife or being married. Now there are women that do it, because it's their job and they don't have no other choice, or they choose to have a certain career where, they do what they do. That's very different. Still, I'm not going to judge them. I'm just not. So I'm glad that we're having this conversation because it's hard. It's hard when the entire world and majority of men are saying things like this. And we're advocates for men.
So 777 said, in all honesty, unless you're getting married, I don't see the point in caring about body count. And I think that something I want to say and mention on this live is that there are levels to sexuality between individuals, right? Some people take it very seriously. Some people feel like their bodies are very sacred. Some people are very, very selective, and that's okay. There's
Right.
literally nothing wrong with that, and there's no judgment in that. And I think that you just have to find like-minded people. Like, if I don't care what your body count is and you don't care what my body count is, we're already a good match from the jump, because that's not
Right.
something that's tear us apart. It's not something that's going to pass judgment between the two of us. And we may just be a little bit more accepting about each other's past. Now, if you're a man that wants a woman that's had sex with less than 5 men in her life, then you have to find a woman that fits in that category.
Right.
And maybe a woman that is a little bit more limited with her sexual experiences.
Right. So someone said, body count matters to some people and it doesn't to others, which is true. And then Sunny just said something similar to what you said, which is men have to be respectful men and they have to set the tone and meet women halfway. What do you think about that?
Well, one of the other questions was, do women care about men's body counts? Now, I was watching a dating show not too long ago. Holla, if you guys have watched Dated and Related, it's on Netflix. It's about siblings that go on this dating show and they play each other's wingman and wingwoman to try to hook them up with the other siblings that are on the island or in the show. And one of the questions when they were getting to know all of the contestants on the show was, what's so and so's body count? And this poor man on national TV, his brother knew his number and announced it to everybody. And he literally was just like completely, like every single woman was turned off by his number. Um, and I feel like it was just a label that was put on him. And this man was on the show to find love. And because he was a promiscuous young man and has a past, he was judged for it. And he didn't really have much success on the show. And another thing I want to mention is not everybody's going to tell you the truth. They could
Nope.
tell you whatever they tell you. You don't know if it's actually a concrete number. Like I said, I don't even know what my number is. I haven't sat down and made a list of all the individuals that I've been intimate with and counted 1, 2, 3, 4. Like I haven't done that.
Right.
I have been started being intimate when I was 14 years old. So when you said that about you're going to get divorced and you're not going to get married, I was like, yeah, I kind of category.
Right. Right.
Okay, I don't know my number because I've been celibate for 21 years. Okay, respect.
That is wow.
For higher counts. That's another point that we could talk about. Do you not judge pedophiles just because they say they're reformed now? That's something that's just completely not even relevant to this conversation. So that one. I never cared. It's just weird to me. So many, I can't remember, not in a position to judge. Exactly. And that's the thing. Like, if you guys are talking to someone and you're getting on the topic of talking about sex and intimacy, that should just be something like, does it mean something to you to understand how many people I've been with? Do you want like a ballpark general idea, or is it something that you just don't care about? I had a conversation about a man that I was dating, and he does a podcast himself, and they talk a lot about women and men, kind of similar topics to we do. And he told me, like, I don't want to know. Like, it's not going to provide me with anything. It's not going to persuade me. It's not going to change my mind. It's not going to make me feel any certain way. It's just unwanted information that I don't want to know about you. Like, it doesn't change the way that I perceive you at all. And I was like, I don't care about yours either. So we literally just didn't even.
And the thing is, you can, if you'd like, you can have an open conversation if that is a safe environment within your relationship where you feel there's a safe environment within your relationship where you feel like you want to have this conversation. Just because there's these dating cards, these relationship cards. It's called oh my God, let's have a conversation. I think it's called the card game. Ace Metaphor, I believe, was the one that created the cards. If I'm wrong, sorry, but huge shout outs to Ace Metaphor, by the way. And in one of the cards, it does talk about that. It asks that question, and they say why or why not you don't want to answer. So that's a solution. If you want to know something about your partner or the person that you're dating, get some conversation cards. Let's have a conversation and ask questions. But please note, you are not obligated to share things about your past if you don't want to. It is okay. I don't feel like, oh, I slept with this many people in my past needs to be something that should be the forefront of I no longer want to be with you.
Okay, so that
marriage material.
I do think that, so Trey Martin has a lot to say tonight, so let's just call you out. He said that your past is like your credit score. So people are going back and forth in the comments saying, no, it's not. No, it's not. Your past, you're not defined by your past. And I say this all the time, but we are a product of it, right? We're a product of our experience, what we've been through. We're not defined by our past. There's a woman that I'm no longer that woman right now. So you can say past is like their credit score. I think that someone's past and their experiences definitely hold value for the person that they are today. But in terms of sex, like how many times, maybe some of you guys have had meaningless sex with someone that meant absolutely nothing to you? Does that change that you're capable of love, that you're capable of having a committed relationship and having quality sex with one person? No. It's just because you made a decision at one point in your life because in that moment you wanted to, and that's okay. Right. So someone's past, it is important for you to understand certain things about someone's past because you can understand their triggers. You can understand what they do and do not want to be around, what they do and do not want to experience. There's certain things that, yes, are imperative to know about somebody's past. But in terms of their sexual partners and who they've been with before you, that to me sounds like an insecurity issue. If you're so insecure with what you're going to bring to their current life and you need to know so much about their past, then maybe you need to do some work on yourself to be able to provide them with a better experience today. Buckets.
I know that's right.
The closed
And I'm
mind.
so glad that you said that. I'm so happy that you said that. And thank you for also getting into the comments because it's so much. I keep forgetting we're actually going to put this on our audio podcast too. So you're dope. So to me, it's a young man's question. Older men or mature men usually don't ask. So I'm glad that you said that because there's a difference, right? If we are going to talk about our past, let it be known that you want to understand me as a person. You want to understand my triggers. You want to understand where I'm coming from, how I react. What am I going to, am I going to flip the table if you don't like bring me a cup of water or something? Things of that nature is a great thing to conversate about because at the end of the day, we're two strangers coming together, getting to know each other, and especially planning to get into a relationship, a serious committed relationship. And you both are looking also for marriage, even if you don't want marriage, let's just say. We can have that conversation. But if your actual question and your motive is just to find out how many people he or she slept with, in this case, she slept with, I agree with you, D. I agree that it has a lot to do with this insecurity, but also is judgmental. And I don't think it's okay. Don't judge. Don't judge because you could listen. We all make mistakes. We're not perfect. Nobody in this earth is perfect. And to base a woman just on that is like, well, what do you think every other woman that you've met is going to say?
So someone said, so we don't care about our partner's insecurities, and that's not what I meant.
No, that's not what you meant.
Most of the time, if you're calling someone your partner, you've gotten past this stage of what we're talking about. We're talking about initial conversations, initial prior to sex, prior to hookups, prior to committed dating with somebody, that you're asking someone about their body count. This is not someone that you're in a committed relationship with. And of course, you're going to acknowledge someone's insecurities. Like, let's be real. We're all human beings. We have things that we've experienced, like I said, in our past that may trigger us in our present relationship. That might be someone's sexual past and history. And if that's something that triggers you, like I said earlier, you have to find someone that fits into that category so that it creates a healthy bond and connection with you and that person. Not everyone is for everyone. So you have to find aligns with what you want for yourself in order to prevent feeling insecure in the relationship. So it absolutely is important.
So Trey Martin said, judging a woman just on that, it's a huge thing to go giving yourself to anyone and everyone. I'm going to say this. If a man decides to do that, to go and choose to be with anyone and everyone he chooses to be with, does that make him a non-worthy or not a valuable man?
Well, look what this person said. If a person has a high body count, it makes me wonder about their ability to be in a relationship.
These are all assumptions. These are all based on maybe, I don't know what your experience has been in your past in relationships, but honey, let me tell you something. Honey, let me tell you something. Okay? I'm going to talk to you real quick. Because the thing is, you do what you want with your intimacy. You do what you want with your intimacy. You cannot go around telling a woman what she can and can't do with her intimacy. And that's just facts. I'm not about to hold a friend of mine accountable because she decides to express herself freely however she decides to do so. I'm not saying she's putting it out there and she's telling the whole entire world her business. But imagine if she did, it would still be bad anyway. So my thing is, we need to stop categorizing all women. Oh, body count, if she wore it on her forehead, it's over. You think that there are men in successful marriages, in successful relationships, healthy relationships, that clearly they probably know or don't know how many men she has been with in her past. Still doesn't take away from the fact that he loves her, that she loves him, that she is who she is, that she does her duty as a woman to her man. It's very different, y'all. We're talking about a single woman. We're talking about a single woman who is comfortable with exploring within herself and exploring, period. She's single.
So I really love what someone said. I'm sorry, a lot of comments are coming in, so I missed your username. But somebody said her body count doesn't matter unless it grows while she's with me, and I really, really like that because
Ding, ding,
that's
ding, 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 ding. Can you repeat that one more time, please?
buckets and billions. He said, her body count doesn't matter unless it grows while it's with me, because I'll be damned if you're going to sit here and say that a woman who has been sexually experienced in her past is not capable of being monogamous and committed to her man that she's in love with in a relationship because of her past. Because you ever been with someone that kind of like just like makes you want to do something different, or makes you want to be better, or even be a person yourself, or be better for them or for yourself because of them?
Yes.
People change, grow, adapt, evolve, all those things. So as long as this person is being committed to you and only wants to have sex with you, the hell you care about who she's been with before you guys started getting in it together, you know? So it's like, that was really, really dope that you said that, that as long as it doesn't grow while she's with you, because that's, again, another topic about cheating. That's a whole other topic. But you
Right.
cannot judge a potential future partner based on the decisions that they made in their past, unless it is something that you really can't tolerate, and you're allowed to have that. You're allowed that.
Right. So someone said they want to hear that again. Can you repeat that again?
Oh, the what he said about the body count. You guys,
Yes.
these aren't my words, but I'll repeat it again. So, lovely gentleman on here said, her body count doesn't matter unless it grows while she's with me. That's what he
Yes.
said, and that is so, so, so key and so important to.
So someone said, so how does a woman being so-called experienced gonna benefit me in the long term? And then someone said that studies show otherwise. Let me tell you something about these studies, okay? If you base your life on somebody else's opinion, you are never going to be successful. You are never going to be successful in anything. You have to experience for yourself. You have to go through things yourself. You have to live in it, breathe it. You have to experience it yourself. If studies show, hey, that's what studies show. But if I based my life on studies, I wouldn't be with the man that I'm with today. I wouldn't be in the greatest relationship I've ever been today. I wouldn't have the healthy relationship that I have today. And that's true. That's very true. If I was always basing my love life or my success or where I want to be or my goals in life based on studies, I wouldn't be where I'm at today. And I really want y'all to take that into consideration, because just because one person had an experience and it didn't work out for them doesn't mean that you're going to have the same experience too, or that it's not going to work out for you too. This is why this is something that Daria and we do this all the time. We don't generalize. We don't say it's all men. We don't say it's all women. We don't. Because the thing is, yeah, me and Daria, we sisters. We are the greatest of friends, but her experience might not be my experience in regards to her love life or in regards to my love life. It's different. It could be different. It could be the same, but you cannot keep basing things that you see and things that you look at and you're like, yo, that is true. Like, that is so true, because I see it all over social media, because I hear all these men talking about it, because I hear all these women saying it. Stop going by what you hear and experience it yourself before you pass judgment or make a decision, period.
So I think someone said, she mentioned being monogamous. Someone said that your body is sacred and that there's no exceptions, that your body counts. You're not wrong in saying this, guys. I'm gonna be really real with you right now. You're not wrong in feeling that your body is sacred. You're not wrong in feeling that you want a woman that has those same beliefs. You're not wrong in saying that body count matters. There's no exceptions. It matters to you. It's
Right.
your process. It's your path. It's the way that you want to move sexually, in relationships, in your love life, and that's okay. Doesn't mean that you should post judgment on people who may not have similar beliefs as you, because
Exactly.
differently. Like, we're talking about research and theory and all these things. Someone said it's not about how fast you row, but in the boat that you're in. It's true. Everybody's in their own lane in their own lives. And you have to respect the way people want to move. If it doesn't involve you, let them run.
Right.
Okay.
So Sunny, I love Sunny. I don't know who Sunny is, but Sunny, huge shout outs to you, because he said at the end of the day, that question is to judge the past. Yes, it's to judge you in that nature of your past. Y'all understand that, right? Because if you ask me a question about my past, and let's just say it's, oh, so what happened in your last relationship? Well, he was cheating on me, and I decided to cheat on him, and we were just cheating on each other. Oh, did you sleep? Did you sleep? This is an example. Oh, did he sleep with other women? Did you sleep with other men? Yeah, I did. Oh, wow. So that means you a hoe. That means that you're not. They forget about the fact that I just said. They forget about the fact that I just said he has cheated on me and has slept with other women. You right away are judging me. You're judging me because, oh, no, you're not wifey material. You just out here giving it away. You just, you're not worthy. What? We need to stop doing that. My opinion. Again, this is just in my opinion.
Someone said, and I'm going to acknowledge this comment. I kid you not, men shouldn't have standards or requirements. Yes, you absolutely should, as should women. And women are that as like we're asking for too much when we have standards for men. So I think that it's important that you have standards or requirements. Personally, when I find out that someone has cheated in a past relationship, does a little red flag start waving? Maybe. But does that mean that I'm not going to see the potential between me and this person because they made a mistake in their past? Do you want to be judged by a mistake that you had made in your past based on a woman that you're really interested in right now, that you really want to pursue, and she won't fuck with you because she has standards and you did something in your past that doesn't really necessarily align with what she wants for her life today? So it's not about not having standards. It's not about, oh, I'm not going to wife a woman that used to get around. Okay. She doesn't have to tell you that she used to get around. We talked about that too. They don't have to tell you. But if someone's being open and honest with you and they want you to know them through and through, that's your decision whether or not you want to move forward with that person. But it doesn't mean that you have to change what you want. Doesn't mean you have to change your beliefs. Doesn't mean that you shouldn't have standards or requirements. You absolutely should, because you should respect yourself as a man and as an individual to choose the right partner that suits what you want for your future. Has nothing to do with standards and all that shit. You can have whatever you want to have because you're a human being. You're an adult. You can have whatever you want, but it has to align with the woman that you're looking eye to eye with, that you want to make potentially your wife or your girl.
So someone said the past is a memory, not a life sentence. And also someone just said, if someone murdered in the past, am I going to trust you alone if I don't know you? First of all, murder and intimacy are very two huge. We're in two different worlds right now, honey. No.
Yeah, people talk about pedophiles and criminal history. That's how
we're not doing that. That's different. We're not talking about that here. Okay. Yeah. Criminals don't count. That's hurting other people. Exactly. But Almighty Murmur said, Almighty Mur, sorry, said, the past is a memory, not a life sentence. I love that. I love that. We have some great quotes today.
Explain the difference in logic, why we can't compare criminal history to sexual history. He wants us to
Ah,
logic. Um, when I was 22 years old, I'm gonna explain this to you. I used to drink and drive. I used to get in my car and drive my ass home after drinking a pretty good amount where I should not be driving. That was 10 years ago. I'm now 32 years old. And I will be damned if I get in the car with any alcohol in my body where I'm not good to drive. My mindset grew. I learned. I evolved. I graduated from immature ways that I used to make stupid decisions that I no longer make now. If I murdered somebody at 22, at 32, maybe I kind of realized that it was wrong, but that's still in me. It's not something that I can really grow out of. I can't unmurder someone, okay? But I can change my ways. I can change my sexual habits. I can change the people that I surround myself with, the way that I move in a relationship. Come on. That's the logic.
that Sonny
Get
said,
caught.
well, the judge gave you 60 plus years.
That's not true. You don't know my past. You can't tell me I didn't get caught. You don't know my past. You don't know.
Right, exactly. And that's the thing. You see, that this is a perfect example. You don't know my past, but you're already judging me. You don't know me as a person, but you already judging me. And it's like that you have you have we all have to understand that we live, we learn, and we continue to grow. We continue to live, we continue to learn, and we continue to grow. Me and Daria are not going to be the exact same people that we are today, 10 years from now, 5 years from now, even 2 years from now. And that's why we have these conversations, because we want people to understand that whether you are a man or a woman, we're human. We're human. And this is why Daria and I do what we do in regards to the Love Solutions podcast. Because, go ahead.
Hill said, Trucker Hill, I love that. The past sometimes can tell someone's patterns. It's good to know, but it's not the end all be all. And
That's
that's what we were saying before. Because the cross life proving past matters. We never said that someone's past is irrelevant.
right.
Like I said, we are not a product of our past, but we're not defined by our past. But
right.
It does carry into your future and may impact the way that you move and the decisions that you make going forward, because your experiences will shape you into the person that you are going into the future. We're not saying that, oh, no one's past matters. You could just kill someone. Oh, it was yesterday. Can't talk to me about it today because that's nothing to do with it. Like, you guys are just being a little too broad. Like, we're talking about body count. We're talking about specifically women being judged for, someone talked about being promiscuous, women being judged for doing the same things that men do that are essentially rewarded for. That's what we're talking about.
Right. So the E Cross Life said, add a guide to the convo and see how this convo evolves. Well, I did have a conversation with actually my boyfriend. He was the one that I asked in regards to if it mattered. And he said, and we've had this conversation, and he didn't judge me for it. I didn't judge him for it. And this was a year into our relationship. And when I spoke about it this time around, what he mentioned to me was the reason why some men ask these questions in regards to how many men you've slept with is because we want to see what elements we are willing to work with or not work with. And I thought that was pretty fair. I don't think, because I feel like women do that as well. But if we are just going to base, and like someone said, if we're just going to let it be a, end all be all, it shouldn't. It really shouldn't. At the end of the day, what happened because I was single and I was enjoying myself. And whatever I did was my business. Again, ladies, whatever you do is nobody's business. Stop putting it out there. Stop. And another thing is, I will say that some women put themselves in certain situations because they decide to date within the same circles. They decide to date within the same hood or the same, oh, your boy, like I dated your boy a long time ago, so I'm gonna date the other boy. And it's like, no, date differently. Like, don't stay in the same circle. Don't date within the same neighborhood. Just don't.
Okay, two things. First of all, I don't agree with that, Yanni, because I do think that women should be selective to a certain degree. You should have morals to a certain degree. We're not
That's
loving the
you
we're not
shouldn't
loving the
you should date
yeah.
within the neighborhood though.
Need to be selective. So somebody said the thing is y'all keep telling young girls to get run through before you get married. Nobody said anything
Nobody
along
that.
You don't know either one of us. I'm a teacher. I have been a director of a child care center for the last 10 years of my life. I have 100 students that are under the age of 5. So I'm shaping the future. I was with children way older than that for many years, formerly when I was an educator and a teacher in a classroom. So teaching people and young adults and young girls that you wanted to reference to make good decisions and to respect themselves, respect their bodies. But everybody's version of how they want to move in their life is on them, and it shouldn't be judged by somebody that has no say and is not in their body. Okay, we're not telling any young girls to do any certain things. We're not telling women to like, oh, just do your dirt but keep it on the low. No, you need to do what feels good for yourself when you lay your head down at night and you feel proud of the person that you are, and that's what you need to do around in life.
Right. And that's perfectly fine. My thing is, I'm talking about this generation now is about putting it all out there. There's no privacy to us anymore. What happened to just keeping things to yourself? You don't have to go and run your mouth. And my thing is, and as a woman myself, there's no man that if I go to Manhattan right now, there cannot be not 5 guys saying that they've gone to bed with me. I can't go to Queens right now. There's not 3, 2 that can say I slept with Sayani. There's not, and you go to New Rock, you go to Long Island, you go to my hood. That's all I'm saying. What I'm saying is, if you are going to do,
He said there's a lot of closed-minded men. Homie said if you can't tell the world proudly, then you know it's a wrong and undesirable. Do you know how many different lenses come when you're speaking to the world? How many people with different perspectives and different viewpoints? That no matter what you do, you're going to be judged no matter what you do. No matter if it's one person, it's like, oh, something's wrong with you. Nobody wants you. You only got with one person in your life. But if it's 100 people, you a hoe. Like,
but that's exactly what I'm saying. Regardless if you show it or not. Someone just said, so why hide the body count? Because regardless, she's going to get judged. So what I'm doing right now is literally helping women that are going to listen to this live and be like, you know what? You're right. But that's also something that my father taught me. My father taught me that from a young age. Whatever you do, that is your business. You don't need to be out here telling nobody. And whatever you do it outside the block. Don't date the same guys on the same block. Don't date the same guys that you went to a party to and they a whole crew and you just dated John, Johnny, and Bill and Derek all at the same time.
John, Johnny, and Bill. Hey, where they at?
Right.
Y'all gotta up. Damn.
Yeah, I can't. If not one of them is any of the things I like, I'm not for you. I said, I'm not going to ask what are your 3 favorite songs and your 3 favorite movies. That's what are we talking about here?
That is that strong, independent woman talk.
But what is so wrong with being a strong woman? What is so wrong with being an independent, mature woman? What is wrong with a woman having her own place, having her own ground to stand on and defend herself? Because that's the problem. That's the problem. Everything now, any little thing that a woman does, there's a judgment to it. And this is, and the thing is, not good for a strong family. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Not good for a strong family. But at the end of the day, you know what? People,
Yo, said it. He said men are intimidated by that. They're intimidated by an independent woman because they want
right,
a woman submissive, but yet you're not providing a safe place for the woman to even be in her feminine energy. She can't even tell you the truth about her life and about her past. She got to act like this little housewife that needs you and needs everything from you and can't live and breathe and survive without you. That sounds like you're intimidated. And it's not to say that you don't need a man, because I goddamn as hell. Sorry, I used probably the wrong words and for your username. But I definitely need a man in my life, and for many reasons, and not about my independence or codependence or anything of the sort. For a best friend, for a partner, for someone that I could go through life with, for someone that's going to listen to me at the end of the day, someone that's going to be my 80% when I'm 20%. You feel me? It has nothing to do with being independent. It has to do with being in love and actually being a human being that is dependent on the love that they need and require from another human being. That's what it's about.
right, exactly. And someone said, what if she lives in the hood? Then go to another hood.
Y'all are like too uptight and have these like gender roles and like these things that you think like that everybody has to fit into these categories. And honestly, if that's the way that you move and that's the way that you think, cool. But this
Right?
isn't the crowd for you. This isn't the place that you can go ahead and throw all that out. Who's the
Yes,
head of that household? Yo, are
right.
we in the 40s? Are we in the 40s? Like I know wives that make way more money than their husbands. How do you feel about that? Like it has nothing to do with money. It has nothing to do with the head of the household. It has to do with being two people that love each other, that want to build a family and build an empire together. It's not about you're ahead, I'm under you. Like that's some bullshit. And if it's 2022, like, you gotta get with it. My mom made more money than my dad. My mom owned a business. She was an
My
entrepreneur.
mom still makes more money than my dad.
Yeah.
Still the day of
And
today.
never like I'm the head of the household because I have a penis. Like no, that's not how it goes down. And they raised three daughters that have master's degrees.
Talk
Like
about it.
educated and smart, and we're a healthy family that all love each other and respect each other and honor and value each other. It has nothing to do with a man and a woman and all these gender roles that you're talking about right now.
Right.
So we're going to put you to the side because you've caused a lot of turmoil tonight and I'm not with the shits. So what I want to ask you is to the side because you've caused a lot of turmoil tonight and I'm not with the shits. So what I want to ask you is, do you think, and how do you feel about people getting it out of their system? Because that's something that someone said to me on my poll when I posted it today. Like sometimes people have to get it out of their system before they're ready to like commit. Now, what do you feel about that? Is that like a personality thing? Like what do you think, Yanni?
Getting it out of their system. Oof, girl, that's deep. That's deep because men and women, there is such thing as having a high intimacy, a high intimate drive, I keep saying intimate because I don't want us to get banned. So a high intimacy level where, they need it all the time. And that's just something that people, have within their hormones. I really don't know, but I'm not going to judge them based off of that. I'm pretty sure there are people that, for example, people that are married that do the whole swinging thing. They are married, but they're swingers. They're in relationships, but they're swingers. Hey, they got to get it out their system. If that's what they need to do before, for example, what you mentioned in regards to that guy from the show, that he got judged because of the number of women that he had slept with. And it didn't go well with him. It didn't go well for him in within the show. That's something probably that he needed to get out of his system, which is why he was like, okay, now I'm ready. Now I'm ready to take it to the next level. Now I'm ready to be in a committed relationship instead of just being a single man out here and just having fun, and it is what it is. So I think that is something that is possible.
Yeah, so picture like, people who get in relationships when they're really young and they stay with each other throughout. And, over time, people get complacent and comfortable within relationships. So where that desire might come and surface because they are so used to just being with one person. Like that was something that someone said where it's like, I'd rather be with someone that's experienced, that has, had their fun with different people, has had their single time, has had their time, just dating and having flings and having fun, and kind of was like realizing, because at the end of the day, like, I don't know about you guys, but to me, like, it gets old. Like, it gets old not having your one person. It gets old, just kind of messing around and having meaningless, casual encounters that are not serving you and not fulfilling you in the ways that you want to be fulfilled. So at a certain point, you're going to want to really get rid of all of that stuff. Hence why I told you guys no sex September, things like that. People who, may have been really promiscuous in the past and now we're celibate, like people can have those dramatic changes in their lives if they choose to do so. So that's something that one of the people voted on my poll, where it's like, I'd rather, and this was a guy talking about a woman saying, I'd rather a woman have had experienced her phase of being intimate and doing her thing and being ready for that partnership and that commitment and that monogamous relationship that will lead to marriage.
Right. So I love that. I love that. Yes. So Almighty Mur said, I'm here to live, not wait to live. Okay. Heard you. And then Sunny said, so my point is the best way to someone's heart is with respect. I agree. Earn your trust, but people have to be aware of their surroundings. That is true. Another comment was women's logic. Hey, I lived like a hoe, but now I'm ready to settle with you.
And honestly, like, because sometimes it be like that with some women. I mean, but then that woman's not.
So no, we're here to learn, not be a 304. Okay. So Dari, would you want to be with Nick Cannon? Hell no. That's just my opinion.
So, I mean, Nick Cannon's got like mad baby mamas. I don't have any kids. I don't come with any baggage. So for me to sign up for that isn't really ideal for me. So the answer to your question is no. I don't care how much money he has. I don't care how much stature he has. It doesn't really fit in the criteria. And we're going to talk about standards and requirements because we all have those of
right.
what I want from now.
Right. So I agree. So why do we think men want a woman with body counts? But the thing is, has anyone been listening?
People are coming in.
Are probably just coming in, So oh wow, the E Cross Life said something. At least he is being upfront about his plan. Yes, and that's perfectly fine. But if a woman was to do that,
no judgment at all. Just like I said a million times to a lot of the things that you keep saying, sir, is that it just doesn't align with what I want I'm my own person, correct? I'm my own individual person that has desires, wants, requirements, whatever you want to call it, right? So that's how Nick Cannon moves. And the women that are moving with him fit into that category because that's what they want. They're signing up for that, right? So that's why it works between the two of them.
Someone said, real on my real man, boy, sit your $5 ass down.
What if the roles were reversed and there was a woman that had as many baby daddies as Nick Cannon has baby mamas?
I just said that. I just said it. Body count, someone said body count matters equal. I'm too scared to talk about sex skills with my experienced partner. Ooh. Okay. So, all right. What are some solutions that we can give the audience? This was a great conversation, by the way. I love this. This is great. Yeah. Having men and women, and we're just, discussing.
Oh my goodness. So I just want to, in conclusion, the world's a very big place, people. A lot of us have a lot of things to say, a lot of opinions, and guess what? All of our opinions are 99% based on our pasts, okay? We are a living, breathing result of what we have experienced in our lives as children and as young adults and as 20-year-old, 30-year-olds, however old we all are. I just want to say that when you're out there and you're authentically being yourself, surround yourself with people that will nurture and support your decisions, but also hold you accountable if you're doing something that's not safe or healthy for yourself. I think that if you are the type of person that means something to you, then you have to find a woman that, you know, aligns with what you want, and vice versa. If you don't care and they don't care, it's good. It's good for you. Why are you laughing? What happened?
So the E-Cross Life, he said, realize that independent women are not good for households. Sweetheart, you clearly are very classic, old school mentality. I am the man. I rule the world. I am king. And all of my words matter. You, as a woman, be quiet, sit down, listen to what I have to say, obey. And if I don't agree with it, I am going to make sure I hold you accountable. You will not grow. You will not, unless I tell you to. And the thing is, my father is traditional. And guess what? This is why I say, and I'm saying it here loud and clear, it depends on the household you were raised in. It depends on what you saw growing up. It really does matter. My parents have been together for 56 years, married 56 years. And when I tell you, my father taught me, and he taught me well, because my father helps my mom clean the house. He folds the clothes when my mom washes the clothes. He'll wash the dishes if he has to, because of the fact that he sees my mom working and she's tired and her knees hurt and she has arthritis in both knees, and he cares and loves his woman. And at the end of the day, my mom isn't an independent woman. She is independent, but there's a difference. They love and respect each other for who exactly they are. And they've been through things that nobody today will survive in a marriage. And I am so proud to say that, period. No, you never said never said the men wears a crown. No, you're saying that an independent woman, that you keep mentioning that. What is the definition of an independent woman? We're not talking about feminism here, okay? Feminism, again, was not built to hate men. And we are actually advocates for men, okay? We actually advocate for men all the time.
All the time, baby.
Exactly. But I'm not going to allow someone to come on here, whether you're a man or a woman. You have been on this live, okay? You have been on this live going back and forth with us, telling us how we need to think and that we're wrong for thinking the way we're thinking. We are our own human beings. And don't tell me to calm down. This is passion talking, baby. There's a difference.
You're lucky she hasn't blocked you yet. I'm surprised you have not blocked.
No, I'm not going to block nobody because I want him to feel my energy. I want him to feel my energy. I am tired. I am sick and tired of this world that we're living in today, where everything has to be a power move. Everything has to be, I need power over you. I need to control you and how you move and how you think. At the end of the day, everybody on this earth is not perfect. God created us in his image. So if you're going to keep passing judgment, that is on you. Okay? That is on you. And no, you were being disrespectful earlier today. You definitely, earlier in the live. Yes, you were.
Said a lot, and I don't easily get triggered, and you said a lot of things on this live that have been pretty insulting. I live on my own. I pay my own bills. I do everything for myself. Do I walk around saying I'm independent? I don't need nobody. I don't no. I just flat out said I need a man in my life for many reasons, but none of them are to be the head of my household. That's not what I'm looking to do, because I can take care of myself. Because guess what? It's not about being a man or a woman. It's about being a fucking adult and about being a human being. And being able to take care of yourself is minimal in living. Right. It's a requirement to live. And when you find somebody that really fits in, and like I said earlier, no disrespect, but you're going to find somebody that agrees with you, and somebody that fits into that category, that wants you to say, I'm the head of the household. Okay. So when that happens, kudos to you, and God bless you. Really, God bless you, because you need some of that. You need some love in your life.
Yes, we definitely, but that's what I'm saying. I'm legendary. We do need each other.
That's what I said.
And that's exactly what we talk about here. Everything we talk about is always giving solutions. Okay, it's always giving solutions to better your love life. Go read my reviews. Go read my reviews on the sessions that I've given, and majority of those sessions were men. There are men right here, right now, on this live that I've helped, that I've made a difference for them, because I'm honest, because I'm able to listen. I'm able to put myself in other people's shoes. I'm able to do that. The reason why me and Zaria have this live and have this podcast is because her and I, we think alike, but we also have our differences. Just like she put me in my place earlier in this live. She let me know, I disagree with you, sis. That's perfectly fine. Did she get disrespectful about it? No. Did she judge me for it? No.
And she'll say the same thing to me, because we're human and we know that we both come from different experiences in life. And I'm single, she's in a relationship, So, and that's one of the beauties of the dynamic between the two of us, is because we're able to see things from different lenses, because we have experiences, even though we are the same age.
Right.
No man wants some woman who thinks she's dominant, and no woman truly wants a submissive man. Somebody said if someone breaks into the house, the man has to take care of it, not the woman. What if I'm alone? What if I'm home alone? What am I going to do? Sit there and be like, right, back and rob me later? Like, the fuck?
Oh my goodness. This division.
See how heavy I can lift, and then talk about some burglar coming into my house.
This division between men and women, there's so much, and I understand it and I get it. I want y'all to understand that I really want y'all to understand that what we do here and this podcast, the reason why it's so important is because this is what we need. We need to have these conversations. We need to have these difficult conversations because no one else is willing to have them. Yeah, there are podcasts out there, and I love those podcasts where they keep it real. They definitely do. They definitely do. Men and women, they keep it real. And my job and what I do in my career, in my business, the reason why, and Daria knows how much this means to me, is because I want to heal. I am so sick and tired of looking at these videos and everything is about hating each other. Men hating women, women hating men. And it's because there's so much hate in this world. There is so much, and we are going to fix that. I know I'm already doing it because that is my purpose. And I know that because God gave me that purpose. And I'm walking in my purpose and I'm going to live in it. I'm breathing it. And I am going to continue to heal people out here, both men and women, definitely. And that's why Love Solutions is what it is.
And if you guys tune in, we are on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Anchor FM. We also have an Instagram and a YouTube channel that is coming very, very soon. But if you go back and look at some of the episodes and topics that we've discussed, we have a lot of advocacy for men. We have a lot of advocacy for the way men are treated, the expectations from society on men. We have a lot of topics on how women abuse men, how men.
We love you too, the E-Cross life. We love you.
I don't know. I'm feeling some fake love up in here. But yeah, so we have a lot of advocacy out there for men. This is in no way intended to, talk about men in a negative light. No. A lot of what we talk about is just real shit. We're right. Accepting, open. This is a judgment-free zone. Like I said to people that have said things that might have hurt my feelings tonight, is that I wish the best for you and I pray for you because everybody deserves love in this world and we all need each other. Men need women, women need men. We all transgender, whatever we are, whatever category you put yourself in, everybody needs love because that's what we grow and thrive on and that's how we survive in this world. Without love, we have nothing. So, minds, open your hearts, surround yourself with the people that align with what you want for your energy, your environment, your surroundings, and you will thrive in that environment when you have the people around you that are pouring and filling your cup. You can't just empty your cup all the time. You have to have people that are pouring and filling your cup as well with love and respectfully.
Right. I don't know who Zen Joseph Ford was, but you just got blocked. Talking about I really don't like the long hair. Well, sweetheart, there's a trust me, you're not gonna be the first nor the last. But one thing we do not do on here is that we judge others in regards to their physical looks. We don't call each other out in regards to cursing at each other, none of that. We don't bully no one on here. That's not what we do. So
Man should get advice from a woman. Why are you on this live? Get out.
who said what?
Still villain.
Oh,
You get blocked.
right. Right. Did you block him already?
No. And then someone said, I can't believe all the dinosaur shit that's on this live coming from men. It's 2022. Wake the fuck up. Facts.
Listen. Okay. Well, someone asked where they can find us. So
what's fun? More feminine. Okay. And it's real, baby. This is all my hair, so.
Period. Okay. Period. But guys, you can find us on Anchor FM, Apple Podcast, Spotify. Is called the Love Solutions Podcast. So the Love Solutions Podcast, you see a picture of me and you'll see a picture of Daria. That is us. Listen to our podcast, subscribe, and, just listen in, share the podcast with people, because all we're trying to do is just spread love and awareness about just building better, healthy relationships, not only with ourselves, but with others as well. Dee, are there any last words, honey?
2022 ? Year means that we're just allowed to be gross and it's fine. Okay. Again, your opinion of gross is somebody else's not opinion of gross. So you can keep moving. Thank you. I am legendary. That is so sweet. I really appreciate it. People, like Yanni said, are out here to always try to tear each other down. That's not what we're about here. We are about spreading love, spreading awareness. You may not agree with everything that we say, and that's okay, because we're not all the same. Okay. Peace and love. Love Solutions Podcast.
Yes.
It's your girl Marie in the building, and I hope to see you guys next week, because we will be back.
Yes. And it's your girl Sayani. Make sure to follow us on Instagram, Love Solutions Podcast. You can find us on Instagram. YouTube channel is dropping soon as well, where you'll be able to see this live on the YouTube channel as well. Okay. So if you missed it, it is okay. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. It was a great conversation. I love y'all. We love y'all. Peace and love. Keep loving each other. Spread love.
Later.
Bye.